A few weeks ago, my friend Sara posted on Facebook looking for leads on a used hang glider. Sara is a really talented graphic designer and artist, and I commented that, someone like you should have your own custom design glider. And I guess that was a pretty effective sales technique because pretty soon we were discussing custom options. Sara wanted a laminate sail, which means pretty much our only option for custom graphics is vinyl. So let's cut some vinyl.
Safe build stuff!
I provided Sara with a scaled template file of the glider wing plan form so she could design her art on, and then it would be to the proper scale so that I can just zip it right into the cutting software. So that's what I've got here. This is her design. That is super cool. I can't wait to see what that's gonna look like, on the full thing. That's Illustrator, that's good. So now what we do is load up this piece of software called Dragon Cut. So right now that's super small. I need to convert that into inches and millimeters to inches, and I got tools for that. Scale, there we go. So to convert something that's millimeters into inches, you just multiply it by 2,540, and there we go. The material of choice we use is Oracal 651. It's a medium grade calendared vinyl that we find has excellent adhesion to Mylar laminate materials and lasts a really long time. Not exactly the most satisfying or exciting thing to watch because it just cuts this very fine line, so you can't really see what it's doing, but it is doing. So for the stripes, since they are just long skinny rectangles, I'm just going to cut them way oversized, and then we'll apply them and trim them flush. Okay, the last color to cut is the gray, and this is a 24-inch wide piece of material, so this should be more straightforward. So I need to adjust my little roller lockdown thingies. Put it over there, load the gray. And this should go just fine without me babysitting it because I have 24-inch wide material. All right, now comes the most fun part of the process, the weeding. When you're a maker, a builder, you come to find your favorite tools, and the two best tools in the shop are this guy. That is an X-Acto knife on one end and a little pokey device on the other end. And 5-pound sandbag weights. Both of these great tools to have, and you're about to see why. Poke the corner, peel it up, and I should be able to just give it a good peel since this is a full sheet. 2 sandbags. there. Guy. Pull that up. This process can be a bit tricky because if the sticky side touches a good part of if it rolls over on itself, then you can ruin the whole thing. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just cut off excess and see, just like I had right there, I was just saying. So that could ruin a part, so I don't want to do that, but we're okay. And pull this up, where you get to see your design come to life. Pull up the excess material, and you're left with what your hard work and creativity is brought forward. Whew. This one's a little tricky. We're good. So you can see the whole thing wouldn't fit on the width of material, so I had to move the W over here. And what I'll do is I'll cut it separate and put it in place, and that's what these alignment points are for. So now we need to apply the transfer film. The film is not wide enough for the whole roll, so I'll have to patch it, but that's okay. That works fine. It can get a little bit messy when you do it that way, but I'm good. Smooth it out good. There we go, that's the first piece of graphics done. Now you just gotta do the rest of them. Okay, all the material is cut, and the next step is to apply it to the glider. The glider is set up, and now the fun part, get to apply the graphics. I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna start yet, so I'm gonna look at the drawing and we'll just figure it out. So in the artwork, Sara had the rare bird a bit closer to the trailing edge, kind of like here, ending here. But I'm gonna move it up to clear the speed batten pocket. That's not shown in the template that she drew up. I could put the vinyl over the speed batten pocket. It would go over it, but it kind of has a hard time contouring over the details of the stitching. I mean, it would work if it's larger, you know, parts, but because they're small, kind of thin letters, we'll be much better off moving it down a little bit. Next step is to take your scraper tool and rub it down. And when you're working vinyl onto a textured surface like this laminate film, you can see the sort of texture of the fibers start to show through the vinyl as you rub it down. Got that all rubbed down. Now for the most satisfying part is to peel the transfer film. You want to be careful as you go, because sometimes you'll get an edge that comes up like that. And if that happens, then you just stick it back down, rub it good, then start again with the peeling. Next up are the birds. And the way she had it drawn, she had them covering the batten panel, or the batten pocket. And that's not gonna work so good. So I'm just gonna try it over here, move it over a little bit. And if we don't like the way that looks, then what I'll have to do is I'll have to cut the graphic in a mirror image and then stick it to the top surface, which would look cool too, but we're gonna try it here for now since this is what I have made. Next up is the compass. So the compass had to be made in two parts because it was wider than the max width of our cutter. So the W will go here with these alignment points once I get the main graphic on. Big graphic like this, I'm not gonna be able to peel it off and stick it down in one piece. So this is gonna be a peel and stick technique. A little bit more advanced. What we do is peel it back like that, and I'm going to roll the backing paper underneath. And add a little bit of a crease. You don't want a heavy crease, you know, not a perfect crease, just a little bit of a crease so that this will lay down flat-ish. I can kind of hold it snug, stick it down lightly, like that. Now what I'm going to do is pull the backing paper underneath and carefully stick down as I go. Now to add the W, I've got my alignment stars, so all I gotta do is peel it off, line it up and stick it on. Be pretty easy. Okay, the compass is on. Boy, that looks really cool. Next up here are the stripes. These are gonna be the trickiest part, I think, of the whole process. So part of what makes these stripes tricky is this needs to wrap around here like this, wrap around the leading edge, which is also what's gonna make them look really cool. Comes around, and then I want it parallel to the batten pocket seam. So I think what I'm gonna do is peel and stick it here, and then I can sort of peel the backing paper as I go along, making sure that it's parallel. We'll see how this goes. Well, I have extras too, so. Whew. All right, first one's on. I think this is gonna be not long enough. Colored stripes are on. That was a bit more difficult than I thought, but boy, that looks cool, man. They're gonna wrap around the leading edge. That looks super cool. Gonna trim the edges flush. Okay, the last thing to apply, which I decided to leave off for now, is these cool feathers. That's because there's already a sticker in the location where she had it, which wasn't on the template. So I will leave that up to Sara to decide what to do with it. She could peel that off, the logo that's there, and apply this, or maybe put it somewhere else. That'll be up for her to decide. I'll let the artist figure that out. For now, I'm gonna call this project finished. It's super cool. I love seeing my friends' creations come to life, you know, their ideas, especially when they're really talented artists like Sara. This was really cool. I love the way the stripes came out. This compass looks cool, and of course the Rare Bird logo. Super awesome. Thanks, Sarah, for the opportunity to be able to work on this, and can't wait to see it in the air.